Hello and welcome to News Hour on Unity TV. Today is Tuesday, 4th of August 2023 and it's equivalent to 14th of Muharram 1444 after Hijrah. The headlines. Tinubu attacks hardship with 500 billion naira palliatives. Federal government replies Falana insists NLC strike illegal. Operation Safe Haven commander vows to make Plateau an illicit arms-free state. And on the foreign scene, 6 killed in Zelensky's hometown as Moscow bolsters onslaught. And in sport, on 2023 Women's World Cup, Nigeria may face England in round of 16. And those were the headlines. And for details and more of the stories, I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday unveiled measures to cushion the effects of the economic downturn caused by fuel subsidy removal in the country, telling Nigerians he understood the hardship and came to help, not to hurt them. He, however, approved 100 billion naira for the procurement of 3,000 20-seater buses fueled by compressed natural gas (CNRs) to ease the high cost of transportation caused by fuel subsidy removal. The president also said his administration will energize micro, small and medium-sized enterprises and the informal sector as drivers of growth with 125 billion naira. He said of the sum, 500 billion naira will be spent on conditional grants to 1 million nano businesses between now and March 2024. Explaining that the government's target was to give 50,000 naira each to 1,300 nano businesses owners in each of the 774 local governments across the country. As he was being sworn in on May 29, President Tinubu implemented fuel removal of fuel subsidy, leading to hike in fuel price from 200 naira to between 567 naira and 670 naira per litre across the country. He also abolished multiple exchange rates, forcing the dollar exchange for over 850 naira. At the black market, the developments took inflation from 22.41% in May to 22.79% in June, with attendant gnashing of teeth among most Nigerians, especially the poor. In a national broadcast on the current economic challenges yesterday, Tinubu assured Nigerians that things will get better soon. The federal government has insisted that the planned industrial action by the Nigerian Labour Congress is illegal. Recorded Sam Ogala of Falana's chamber in a letter dated July 28, 2023 have stated that the right to peaceful protest has not been removed from the Constitution. However, the federal government, in a letter on Monday by the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Justice, Beatrice Jedi Agba, an address to Falana chambers on Monday, restated that there is a subsisting interim order restraining NLC from embarking on any industrial action. She also called on Falana to educate the NLC that peaceful protests are no justification for shutting down essential services. The Commander Operation Safe Haven OPSH Major General Abdul Salami Abubakar has reiterated his commitment to mop all illicit small arms and light weapons from non-state actors that are causing insecurity in Plateau State. The commander made this statement on Monday at the OPSH headquarters in Jos, the Plateau State capital, while handing over 130 recovered illicit weapons by troops from criminal elements to the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, NCC-SALW, North Central Zone, according to Major General Abdul Salami. Troops of Operation Safe Haven have conducted several kinetic operations in the hinterland to protect isolated communities, which resulted to huge recovery of illegal weapons.
This have led to the huge recovery of illegal weapons, drugs, motorcycles, vehicles, as well as the rescue of kidnapped victims. On the whole, the operational successes recorded by troops of Operation Safe Haven led to the recovery of 130 small arms and light weapons from criminal elements.
The OPSH commander were calling on the general public to support the federal government in its effort to eradicate the proliferation of illicit arms in circulation and, by extension, promote an illicit arms-free society, vowed to sustain the tempo in order to decisively curtail the activities of criminal elements in all joint areas of operation.
And to get just one weapon out of the hand of an unauthorized person means several lives have been saved. So you look at this quantity of weapons we are receiving this morning and imagine the number of people that will have fallen if these weapons were still in their hands.
In his remark, the North Central Zonal Coordinator, National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Live Weapons, Major General Hamza Ibrahim Bature, retired, commended the efforts of OPSH commander and his gallant troops, saying that this is the second time that illicit weapons recovered from unauthorized persons have been handed over to the center.
So this morning, I have the honor to do the symbolic handing over of just one of the automatic weapons to you, while all the remaining ones as displayed here will be transferred to your custody. Thank you, sir.
And to get just
arms-free state, as reported by our correspondent, Bashir Musa. The screening of at least 3 ministerial nominees was put on hold for reasons of age forgery and age falsification, among others, as the Senate commenced the exercise yesterday. Of the 14 nominees listed on the other paper for screening, 7, including immediate past governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, among other ex-governors and legislators, were asked to take a bow and go, while 4 others were screened. But those whose screening was put on hold and asked to clarify issues were Professor Joseph Utsev, who is currently Director of Federal Polytechnic, Wanune, the hometown of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume. The 2 others were Senator Abubakar Sani Ladi Taraba, who was alleged to have been banned by the Supreme Court from holding public office for 10 years, and Bello Mohammed from Sokoto State, whose case had to do with his secondary school leaving certificate. The Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, said that those who had issues will have their cases looked into at the stage of confirmation. The nominees whose names appeared on the other paper but were not screened included Architect Ahmed Musa Engiwa, Katsina State, Chief Uche Joffrey Naji, Enugu State, and Stella Ohua Gogene, Okitete, Delta State. Former Minister of Information and Communication Alhaji Ibrahim Dasuki Salu Nakande has commended the Executive Governor of Plateau State, Barrister Caleb Mutfang, for his all-inclusive nomination of his commissioners. The former minister gave the commendation yesterday in a statement he personally signed and issued to the Unity FM TV news desk. Alhaji Dasuki noted that nominating Honorable Bashir Lawandi Datti as a commissioner by the governor did clearly shows, I beg your pardon, that the governor is for all the people of Plateau State, irrespective of tribal and religious inclination. He therefore urged the governor to do more and also to be firm towards serving the people of Plateau State. Former Minister Dasuki then congratulated Honorable Bashir Lawandi Datti and the other nominees, urging them to work hard towards making Plateau State to the next level of greatness. He prayed that God Almighty will guide him towards doing what will bring more development to his people and Plateau State in general. Recall that the Plateau State Governor, Barrister Caleb Mutfang, has submitted 3 additional names to the State House of Assembly, among whom is Bashir Lawandi Datti, a young and vibrant politician from Just North, for screening and subsequent appointment as commissioner in the state. In continuation to the court hearing of the 70 local government and governor of Plateau State, Barrister Caleb Mutfang, a renowned human rights lawyer and legal advisor to the National Association of Local Governments Council, ALGON, Mr. Femi Falana said it is unlawful for any Nigerian to challenge a court verdict. Mr. Falana's son disclosed this Monday morning while addressing journalists at the Plateau State High Court in Jos. Despite a court verdict that restrained the removal of the elected local government chairman and members of their legislative councils, the state's governor was reported to have appointed caretaker committees and denied the former their rights to resume back to office.
Up to now, our clients have not been allowed to go back to their offices.
Anna explained that whenever a court of law makes a verdict, such matter must be respected.
Up to now, our clients have not been allowed to go back to their offices in total defiance of the order of this law. So we are here to let the world know that nobody is above the law. Once a court has granted an order, it has to be obeyed by all authorities above.
While challenging every Nigerian, especially lawyers, to always give respect to the rule of law, the renowned legal practitioner further expressed optimism that the rights of the affected individuals will not be violated. Meanwhile, counsel to the defendants, Barrister M.K. Malam, explained that the presiding judge, Justice S.J. Bakfur, adjourned the hearing to 25 September 2023 to allow all parties to have their files intact for continuation of the hearing.
We were not opposed to the former chairman. We were not opposed to the application because we felt all the applications, all the claimants should have come in one fell swoop. But learned counsel to the claimant felt we told the court that they were going to file their response. Now, based on that, ordinarily, His Lordship advised that the matter be adjourned to some other day to allow all papers come in. Of course, with that situation, nobody.
Our correspondent Haruna Umar reports that the presiding judge advised counsel to the claimants to speak to their clients on the importance of judiciary, hoping that necessary data will be available before the next hearing dates. It is hardly the ideal time for Nigerians seeking medical care, especially at the nation's tertiary health facilities, as the National Association of Resident Doctors (NARD) has crippled hospital services and abandoned patients to their fate due to its nationwide total and indefinite strike. A visit to some of the hospitals revealed total compliance with the strike, as only a few consultants and house officers were rendering skeletal services to patients with serious complaints. However, new appointments were not given to patients as doctors were absent from their duty posts to do that. Although the consultants who are senior doctors were attending to emergency cases, many patients were turned back, including patients that require surgery. Newsmen gathered that despite the recent announcement by the federal government of 25% salary increment, the striking doctors have remained adamant. For the doctors, it is either the federal government meets their stated demands or they are not returning to work. At the Lagos University Teaching Hospital Lutz, the National Orthopedic Hospital, Igbobi, Lagos State University Teaching Hospital to all the tertiary health institutions nationwide, including the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja, the situation was the same. And on the foreign scene, a missile strike on a residential building killed 6 and wounded dozens in Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's hometown on Monday, as Russia said it stepped up strikes against military facilities in response to attacks on its territory, including Moscow. 2 missiles landed close to the center of the central Ukrainian city of Kyiv, rigged just after 9 o'clock a.m., Ukrainian Interior Minister Igor Klemenko wrote on Telegram. Among the dead was a 10-year-old girl and her 45-year-old mother, while 75 people were injured, Klemenko and local authorities said. One of the strikes hit a large 9-story residential apartment, punching a huge hole in the facade that destroyed flats on several floors and sparked a fire. Firefighters used a cherry picker crane to direct jets of water at the fire, while the emergency ministry said part of the building had collapsed with the rubble was being cleared. And also on the foreign scene, Nigeria may face England In the 2023 Women's World Cup round of 16, if the Lioness win their group, the Super Falcons played out a barren draw against Ireland on Monday, while co-host Australia smashing Canada 4-0. Coach Randy Waldrum girls ended as second in Group B with 5 points. The Matildas had 7. That means Nigeria will take on the winners of Group D with 2 rounds of games played in that group. England are top. However, they need to avoid defeat in their last game against China to confirm their leadership. Denmark are second on the log while China sit third, but both sides have 3 points each. So while it looks likely that Africa's most successful female team will play England in the next step of the tournament, China or Denmark may also end up as Nigeria's foes if results go their way. And with the sport news, we've come to the end of our bulletin for today. You can follow us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Unity Radio FM TV respectively. You can also watch us live on the satellite decoder Butter-Sat, which is being watched in about 38 countries of the world free. You can also stream us and watch us live on our YouTube channel at Unity FM TV. I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs. To have yourself a lovely day.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs some love. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It a kill love, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.